Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today I wanted to talk about the Assault Battle Ground War and how you can use Jedi Luke to beat it. He actually kind of trivializes it if you do the right things, and I realize that not everyone has Jedi Luke. I know that's actually kind of an understatement, or maybe it's an overstatement actually. It's certainly a statement that is either above or below what a normal statement would be. So, one way or another, Jedi Luke makes it pretty easy. I know that not everyone has him, but this guide is going to hopefully help people be able to shape what they're going to do with Jedi Luke once people are able to unlock Jedi Luke, which is going to be in about a month from now, from when this is released. Then you'll be able to do this, and honestly, it's a lot of fun, so just check it out and hope you enjoy. Alright, so first I want to show you guys my mods just real quick. The number right next to the character on the top right there, that's their speed, and the number in parentheses is how much the mods I have on it modify it, followed by the relic level that each of these characters is. I realized that not everyone is going to have these mods and these relic levels, but frankly, if you're trying tier 3 of an assault battle, this is probably what you're going to realistically need. You could probably do with a little bit less here and there, but if you have Jedi Luke, what are you doing with him if you don't have him at relic 7? Like, seriously, just put him at relic 7. I did not remod my characters. These were just the mods that were on them for my Grand Arena pursuits, and they were good enough. So one thing to note is that Jedi Luke does have crit damage mods on him. Grandmaster Yoda is extremely slow with offense maxed out, basically, and General Skywalker has his offense maxed out because, as I stated before, this is for my Grand Arena pursuits. He hits really hard. I don't necessarily want him to be super resilient. Alright, so I actually tried this one time. I did it on my Twitch stream that I had, and I used General Kenobi here instead of General Skywalker. And honestly, General Kenobi didn't really add that much. You can see all of their initial hits are only doing, most of them, I should say, are only doing non-crit damage. They're still doing a ton of damage, but they're not critting. So once they finally get through the barrage, if Jolee is dead, then just hit the restart button. There's no point in continuing. Luke got his first turn, and so he just stunned everyone, and then you want to use Heroes Arise as fast as you can after that. Now, Luke immediately gets another turn, of course. Everyone is stunned, and really, what you're doing here... And let me freeze frame for just a second. So, what you're trying for with Grandmaster Yoda is to take as many turns as possible, because there's the shared cooldown for the Heroes Arise ability that you want to be able to reduce as quick as you can, and Grandmaster Yoda can take a million billion turns. That's not an exaggeration. Million billion, quote me on it. And he's going to reduce those cooldowns really fast. Now, the other piece of it is he's also a great distributor for the event special, and I'm sure that many of you watching already know about this, but for those of you who do not, the event special is amazing for him specifically. It's not really that great for any other Jedi, but because Grandmaster Yoda can distribute these buffs to everyone, and because he can gain so much turn meter from all of his other abilities, he becomes ideal. Now, my Grandmaster Yoda is slow as dirt. He's plus 60 speed, and those are only incidental speed modifiers from his mods. I've tried to maximize his offense, honestly, because he doesn't need that much speed because of all of his turn meter gain. This assault battle really proves that case. So what you're going to be doing with Grandmaster Yoda is alternating between doing his AoE, which gives him 100% turn meter. Then you're going to use his event special, which gives him 100% turn meter. And then you're going to use battle meditation to spread all of the buffs from the event special. And that is going to give him a ton of turn meter as well. And then you're probably going to go again with him unless someone else has more turn meter, and you're going to use his basic, which will give him 40% turn meter, and then someone will go, they can call him to assist, which will give him another 40% turn meter, and then he will get another turn, and then you can do an AoE, and then you can do the event special, and then you can spread the buffs, etc. And meanwhile, the Heroes Arise ability continues to slowly wind down, and you can use it again pretty fast. Alright, so we're spreading the buffs, we're using AoEs, we're doing all this stuff, and the thing that you need to be focused on now is trying to make sure that Luke has his mass stun ability available for the next phase, and you want to make sure that your Heroes Arise ability is also available at the very end of this fight, because Luke will immediately gain 100% turn meter once you use that. So you want to finish the phase with Heroes Arise so that Luke can immediately take a turn at the start of the next phase and stun everyone. And I don't always pull this off perfectly. Frankly, I've only had one opportunity to practice this, but as you can see, we have his cooldown is all the way off for the mass stun, and so what we're trying to do now, we need to use the Heroes Arise ability to call everyone to assist so that Luke starts the next turn with 100% turn meter. This is vital because if you don't, all of these guys are going to take a turn almost immediately, and you are going to get stuck getting pummeled to death. I ended up, my first attempt, I just wasn't as aware of this. It was on like the 5th wave, and immediately the 4 Geonosians in that wave immediately killed Jolee and Grandmaster Yoda before I even got one single turn against them. And so that it's vital that these guys are going to be doing a huge amount of damage, and so you're going to need to get that stun off right away with Luke. If you can accomplish that, then you're going to be able to get turns with all your other guys. You can apply all these crazy buffs on the entire group, and Grandmaster Yoda does his thing, and then you need to be focused on reducing that cooldown on Luke, trying to make sure that he is actually ready to stun everyone again, and you rinse repeat until the next phase. So let's speed it up here until we get to the next one. Now, you can see that Grandmaster Yoda was trivially slaughtered by the B1s who just randomly got some turns, and that's why you need Jolee here. So you'll note also that General Skywalker took a turn. I just used a basic attack and killed them. I got very lucky here because I did end up with full turn meter from Jedi Luke, and so I used the Heroes Arise ability so we can start reducing the cooldown again. Then, because he gets another turn immediately, he's able to stun everyone, and now we're working once again on trying to get that cooldown reduced on the mass stun from Luke, also trying to get Heroes Arise available again. And one thing to keep in mind is you want to save all of your assist calling for Grandmaster Yoda if he doesn't have a lot of turn meter, because he is pretty slow. He's not going to get a lot of turns unless he's gaining turn meter, so I would advise saving that as much as you can. Getting those mass AoEs from General Skywalker is really helpful because it can cause daze. And one thing to keep in mind is that these B2s don't operate the way our own B2s work. They don't gain a ton of turn meter if you hit other characters or on their team, so don't be afraid to use AoEs here. And really, I mean, it can take a while. I think this total run took me about 15 total minutes. We're going to get this video out to you a little bit faster than that because a lot of it's going to just be in fast motion. You can always slow it down because it's a YouTube video and they have that option. But just keep in mind at the very end of each of these phases, I'm going to try slowing it down a little bit. Now, this was perfect. I was able to use Heroes Arise with Luke. Luke immediately gains 100% turn meter and starts the phase with that, and he's able to stun everyone. Now you can call Grandmaster Yoda, start getting all of the turn meter madness started up again. One thing to note is, whereas Grievous does not have the unique Zeta on him, so he's not going to go berserk every time you kill one of his guys. It does have one defense mechanism, which is the commando droid taunts once General Grievous is below 100% health. So once you kill him, then you can go back to demolishing Grievous at your leisure. Now, another thing to keep in mind is making sure that you're putting the Master's training on all of the characters that need them. One thing that I kept forgetting to do was once Grandmaster Yoda died, I didn't put Master's training on him for a couple times because I had already put it on him. I forgot that I needed to reapply it. So just keep that in mind. It's not a huge deal, but remember, especially Grandmaster Yoda, every time he does his basics against a character with more than 50% health, he gains 40% turn meter. So all these assists that you're calling, you're just going to be gaining quite a bit of turn meter with him if you're being wise about things. So once again, I've slowed it down. Just want to show you guys how I approached this. Whether I'm being perfect about it or not, I truly don't even remember this particular phase, how it ended. But once you can get a character down to this level, you can call the Heroes Arise, and once again, Jedi Luke is ready for action here, able to stun these guys. This is where I got stopped my first attempt, and when they killed General Kenobi and Jolee, obviously we have General Skywalker here, and I think that's probably a much better choice, to be honest. Alright, and this is an interesting ending for this particular phase because I'm killing them too fast, really. I wasn't really watching the cooldowns on Luke, and so whereas I did finish with the Heroes Arise ability, and Luke does start the turn with turn meter, he doesn't have the ability to stun everyone. I wasn't closely monitoring my cooldowns, and so we get to a little bit of a nerve-wracking point where they're going to be taking a ton of bonus turns, a ton of extra turns, and luckily they didn't take nearly as many as I had been expecting. But if they had focused on one of my characters and killed them, specifically Jolee, who they have been really enjoying targeting, if they had done that, I would have been in a world of hurt. Now, let's hit the fast forward button until just before we get to the final confrontation. So just keep in mind here too, there is such thing as killing the bad guys too fast, because you really need to have that Heroes Arise ability to be able to finish this fight. And honestly, making General Skywalker too strong, you can see he just took out that Geonosian, and because of that, I didn't use Heroes Arise right off the bat, and I didn't have full turn meter on anyone, and therefore Grandmaster Yoda died, and that was pretty scary moving into this final round. And so I was able to get him revived by Jolee, and we're just trying to make sure that it is so vital going into this final thing. You absolutely need Luke to be able to stun everyone that you can right away, and that you finish with Heroes Arise on the final blow. So you can see instead of General Skywalker using his basic, he did just use Heroes Arise, killed the guy, and now Luke gets a turn. He can stun everyone except for Dooku, who is a raid boss, so Dooku is going to be able to go, but Jolee also had enough turn meter. He could send Grandmaster Yoda into his shenanigans, and now we can do all the turn meter stuff that we have been. Just keep in mind that if you have foresight, then you can actually get, you can evade from Dooku. That is really important. And then you want to target Asajj right away because she's the one who can reduce all of your turn meter, and even worse, she can dispel all of your buffs, even if you have foresight. Now, I was able to get days off on Dooku, which is nice because I didn't have to worry about him retributing me, or rather countering me using retribution. And otherwise, like, he did go down like a sack of suet. Pretty easy, pretty easy to take him out. But because we have all these different buffs, that you kind of get used to hitting hard. At this point, it's kind of a laugher. Once Dooku and Asajj are both gone, and your team is mostly full health, you can probably just hit auto if you really want to. But why spoil the fun? May as well just draw it out just a little bit longer. It's kind of a cool accomplishment. I mean, look at the full health and protection that we have on this squad, and it's all just because we're using turn meter mechanics to be able to win. There's nothing super fancy about it. You do need to pay attention. You can't hit auto, and things can go a little bit wrong every once in a while. But if you follow this guide, I believe that you're going to find success and happiness in everything you do, especially in the Ground Wars Assault battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was helpful, I would appreciate you leaving a like or a comment or something like that. Either way, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Even in PvE, sometimes. Often. I don't feel like often is too far-fetched. Do you guys? I don't think so.